Hello, we're talking about volume of a prism today, and we've already kind of covered that, so we're going to go through it rather quickly. We need to know that the volume of a solid is just how much it can hold, how much can fit inside of a three-dimensional figure. And volume is always measured in cubic units. We had area that was always in square units, so we had a little 2, but now with volume we need to change that to a 3. It's a cubic units because we have 3 different dimensions that we're talking about. So if it's units, we would say units cubed. Inches, inches cubed. Meters, meters cubed. Millimeters, we'd call it meters cubed, millimeters cubed, and yards, yards cubed. Anything else, feet, miles, just add that little 3, and then we know we're talking about volume. So with that, let's go ahead and keep moving on. We know, here's our key concept, so make sure you get that in there, that when we take volume, we're taking length times width times height. So we've got length, width, and height. Again, it doesn't really matter which order you put these in, but it's length times the width times the height will give us the volume of a rectangular prism. So, of course, we're going to have some that work backwards, so let's go ahead and get started with the hard ones. We know the volume of a swimming pool is 3,750 cubic meters. The pool is 25 meters wide and 3 meters deep. How long is the pool? So, as always, we need to start with our formula. We know, oops, we're not doing area anymore. Sorry, I'm a little behind the times. Volume, that is what I meant to do. Volume is equal to length times width times height. So there's our formula to start with. Let's fill in what we know. We know that the volume is 3,750. So we're going to plug that in for our V. 3,750 is equal to 25 meters wide and 3 meters deep. So how long? Our length is what we're still looking for. Our width was 25. Our depth, or our height, is 3. So how are we going to go ahead and solve this? Just like before, we need to simplify what we know. So we're going to start by multiplying these two together. And when we multiply those two together, 25 times 3, we get 75. So 75 times whatever the length is equal to 3,750. Again, our fact families, if this times this equals this, then we need to go backwards and say this divided by that equals our length. So when we take 3,750 and divide it by 75, that should equal our length. So using our calculator, and I'm going to use a calculator too, 3,750 divided by 75 gets us to 50. Our length is equal to 50 meters. So let's get that M in here. Do I need a cube here? Nope, because that's what volume is. The length itself is just meters, so 50 meters. I want you to go ahead and try this one on your own. It's going to be just like this. You're going to have to work it backwards. We've got the volume of the bathtub is 16 cubic feet. It's 4 feet long and 2 feet wide. How deep is the bathtub? So this time you're going to be solving for your H. So go ahead and try this one on your own, and we'll talk about it in class tomorrow. All right, we have 6 problems here, 3 pictures, and 3 just where they give us the dimensions, and we need to find the volume. I'm going to do 2 of them with you, and you're going to have to do the last 2 on your own. So let's do these. We're talking about number 3 here. Again, start with our formula. We have volume is equal to length times width times height. So we're solving for volume. What's my length? Doesn't really matter which one you say. I always say this one is length, so I'm going to say 20. And my width is 20. And my height is 20. This one's a nice perfect cube. So when I take 20 times 20 times 20 using my calculator, I get 8,000 centimeters cubed. That's kind of a messy drawing, but it works. 8,000 centimeters cubed. So for number 6, I'm still going to do the same thing. I just don't have a picture here. If it helps you to draw a picture, draw it out. Again, I start with my formula. So I'm going to switch my colors here so we can see the difference. Volume is equal to length times width times height. So my length is 4.5. My width, it tells me, is 0.5. And my height, it tells me, is 0.2. So again, I'm going to plug it into my calculator. When I take 4.5 times 0.5 times 0.2, I get 0.45. So 0.45 as my answer. I just need to remember to put my label on there, kilometers cubed, and that would be my answer. So I want you to go ahead and do these. So you'll have 4 more to do on your own, and we'll check them tomorrow in class. Have a great night.